So this is a Google Sheet dashboard. It's an application that I've been building for a couple of past weeks, and basically it's a dashboard application that um, connects with Google Sheets as a data source of as our database. It then visualizes the data interactively, performs data analysis and metrics calculations, provides a responsive interface for both desktop and mobile automatically. So instead of doing this in your Google Sheets, doing all those, putting in all the formulas, doing all the calculations manually, this dashboard does everything automatically. So for the technology stack, I used for the backend I use Python, also which is a Flask web framework. I also use Pandas to manipulate the data and Google Sheets API client for connection to the Google Sheets and Google Authentication to authenticate that it's that's my data that I'm connecting to. As for the front end, I use Node.js, and NPM for building the tool. And as for the front end frameworks, I used JavaScript and everything as the framework. So the infrastructure, especially the backend, it includes the Google Cloud Platform, Google Sheets API, Google Drive API, and Service Account Authentication. All these are free. You can find them from Google Console. So the Google Cloud Platform is where we can get all this stuff. And first for the Google Sheets API, all these. So the Google Sheets API, it connects to my account, the Google account, so that I can be able to fetch all the data. And for the Google Drive API, yeah, just to connect to any data that I want to connect to. And for the service account authentication, this one, so it's like an email. And as for the architecture, so the backend runs on Python, and it communicates with Google Sheets API for data retrieval. It processes the data using pandas for analysis and serves the processed data to a front-end application, which then it renders it interactively using visualizations like charts, pie charts, line charts, and graphs. So the application follows a typical client-server architecture where the backend handles data fetching and processing, frontend handles visualization and user interaction, and Google Sheets acts as our database. So this way we fetch our data, store our data, and manipulate it. So to connect to this Google Sheet dashboard, basically what we need are these three things: Google Cloud Platform, Google Sheets API, Google Drive API, and Service Account Authentication. All these were done. So I'm not going to, okay, maybe all these, I've done all these ID, the Google document or spreadsheet ID. So we're going to copy it. Yeah. And after copy it, we're going to be paste it here. So basically it's the same ID. So I'm going to paste. After pasting, we're going to connect it, to connect the Google Sheets. Uh, After that, then we're going to load the data in this Google Sheet. You can see that the data here is um, it's not that user, you know, visually, it's not visually appealing. So when compared to this, so you can see the data preview is at least we have the data here. We have the national debt as per whatever that is. We also have the national debt per capita. We also have the national debt in terms of US dollars, country, and flag code. So we're going to move to chart preview. So here we can visualize the data, all the data that is in our Google Sheet that we loaded. So I love pie charts. So we can choose what column we want to show the data from. We have the data here, national date. All these are columns. And also you have the label columns, that's the country or flag code. So all the data is going to be loaded here. And we have the second chart that shows the advanced visualization. But I think there's no difference between the first chart and second chart. If there's a difference, well, it's very minimal. So we also have the matrix on how the data is displayed. You can read them here. This is the page that displays statistical metrics, information about the data. So you can see that we have the 190 total rows of the data. You have 6 columns, and it has calculated the minimum, maximum, median, everything in all the 6 columns. So we also have the dashboard where we can see the all the data, all. So if you want to see all these charts and everything, you can run to the dashboard and visualize everything that you want to visualize, from the data year, national debt, and national debt per capita, national debt in US dollars, and also the data summary. So where everything gets interesting is this AI reports. So I connected with Gemini, Google's API keys, that's totally free, and it's going to generate a report based on the loaded data from Google Sheets, and the reports include the general analysis, financial analysis, comparative analysis, and the custom report. And we can select of if you want all the data, all the first 10 rows, or 20 or 50 rows. So for this, for tutorial purposes, I'm going to load 10 rows so that they can be first. So it's going to generate a report using the Gemini AI. And here we have it. So it's a general analysis report. So you can see that the data provided data set, they provide data set, that's the countries with the highest national debt in 2025, contains a sample of 10 countries, national debt data for the year 2023 with one exception from 2022, offering a snapshot of the fiscal positions. Okay, you have the key metrics of the national debt, in US dollars. So it offers the key insights, trends based on sample recommendations and conclusion. You can also generate a financial analysis and see what's gonna give us. Okay, we have the financial analysis national debt of selected countries between the year 2023 and 2024. So there's an executive summary. This report analyzes the national debt of 10 selected countries. Okay, highlighting key financial metrics, strengths, and potential risks. So you have key financial metrics, that's the national debt, debt, debt to GDP ratio, debt per capita, trends and observations, potential risks, recommendation to financial strategy, and conclusions. You can also have the comparative analysis. So I think it's going to compare between countries of the first 10 countries in the Google Sheet, and it's going to give us an analysis based on what it found. So this report analyzes a subset of 10 countries from a larger data set of national debt, focusing on a comparative analysis of key metrics. So you can see that primary 2023 with one entry of 22 Japan, this year to year variation. Okay, so here's the interesting part. Comparative analysis. The data reveals a significant variation in national debt across the 10 countries included in this sample. The United States holds the largest national debt in absolute terms, that's $32.91 trillion, significantly exceeding the second largest debtor, which is China, with $14.98 trillion. However, when considering a debt as a percentage of GDP, Japan, which is 256.3%, which was 256% in 2022, present the highest ratio, indicating a substantially larger debt burden relative to its economic output compared to the US 118.73%. This highlights the importance. Okay, I mean, you see, you have the clue of what it's doing. So you can also generate a custom report. And if you're wondering, this is where I got my data from. Everything that I'm showing, I downloaded from worldpopulationreview.com. So it has generated a custom analysis report. So this, you know, just a custom report, more like of general report. So that's it, guys. If you want to test out this tool, let me know. I can I can share it.